Welcome to Timsonner. Cybersecurity, networking, AI, and software development. Mwahahaha, ha.
Mwahaha. Okay, so what we're going to do, right, is we're going to go over what a skill is, and how to create a skill and how to create profiles using Hermes. So let's go back to the first part here and just really high level overview of like what a skill is. It's kind of like an overview of some knowledge, right? It's like a I don't know if compendium is the right word, but compendium sounds like a cool word. So it's like a distillation of some knowledge, right? So it's like a recipe book, if you will. And typically, one of the features of a skill is you're going to have some. They call it YAML, so it's .yaml is the YAML is not a markup language, is what it stands for. But yeah, YAML and Markdown are part of the full stack developer stack. So, if you program in Markdown and YAML, then you're a full stack developer. But anyway, the front matter of these .md files are YAML. The rest of the document is typically Markdown. So, full stack developer, baby. Let's go. Um, so yeah, typically it'll have some command usage examples. I was actually looking over on Strix, and I was thinking about contributing like some skills, right? And they were saying like creating a skill. So you got to choose a category for it. Okay, fair enough, whatever. Directory structure will handle that. Create a .md file with YAML front matter. I was just talking about that. That's part of the AI full development stack right there. And then include practical examples. So what we're looking at in a skill is you're going to have practical examples of the code, right? You're going to have working payloads, like stuff that works, like a command that works. You're going to provide validation methods to confirm the findings. I'm not going to do that on this one, but yeah, you would ideally, I guess, if you were going to contribute or something like that, is like to this repo, they would expect that you do these things. You provide validation methods to confirm the findings. I actually don't even know what the heck that means. So, um, but like this is like this is a skill file that I already have, right, for WSL containers, right? So it's just got some like examples, um, commands that run, and I already have this skill made, but I'm kind of curious to like, you know, I want to see like actually. Like, so I've also been testing like Grok 4.5, and I just wanted to see what it's all about. And I used it for like a YouTube skill that my agent has, and it was pretty dope. It did a really good job. So what I want to do is also show you how to create a profile. So um, I think there's a command line way to do this. I sometimes, I use the command line, sometimes whatever. I think you can do like profile. I just show active profile name. I'm sure there's like a way to create a profile as well. I just don't know how to do it from the command line. I don't really care, um, because there's a really nice, just GUI way to do it, and you can just hit the plus button here in the Hermes Desktop app. And I'm kind of like making some assumptions that you're just kind of like new to this somewhat, and maybe just want to learn some Hermes stuff. If you're like a Hermes OG, then this is probably really boring. Um, but how you get into um, Hermes Desktop is you just literally type Hermes Desktop. And so mine was like out of date. It always seems to have some like updates that it needs to run. So, it's like, boom, I just hit Hermes Desktop. It updates, does its thing. So, boom, we're in, just like HackerMan. So, down here in the bottom left, new profile. All right, so we're going to say, we need to give it a name. We're going to say Weasel, WSLC, WSLC, expert. Lowercase letters, digits, hyphens, and underscores. Must start with a letter or a digit. Did I have a space in there or something, or what? Lowercase letters, digits. Okay, you can't do spaces in the name. I did not know that. And then so yeah, like soul.md. I didn't really jump on the whole OpenClaw thing, so that's kind of new to me. And like I've used Claude very sparingly, so and I haven't even messed with like soul.md. But what I do understand about it is that you want to give it like a personality or like a soul, and so I'll just be like, yo, dude, you're a wicked good Microsoft dev specializing in WSL Containers, Docker, and PowerShell. And then, something like that, right? So we'll just create profile and voila. That's at least the start. Obviously you can, learn a little bit about that, like what, you should put into a soul.md. I just kind of like wing it and it seemed to work just fine. So what I'm going to do is just, make sure we're on our WSL expert. And then I'm going to switch the model to Grokness, because I wanted to see what it was all about. So we're going Grok Medium. And so when I build out a skill, a lot of times what I like to do is use developer documentation for it, right? I don't want to just grab some stuff off of like Reddit or something, or like Stack Overflow. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of good stuff there, but like that's not what I'm trying to build a skill off of necessarily. There might be a use case for that, but like most of the time I want developer documentation. That's the point I want to make. So you might have to do like a little bit of web searching, right? So WSL Container is now available for public preview. So this is an article that I found, and it's got some links, and you can follow some of these links, and go to some API references and stuff like that. So this one is pretty solid, right? So if I can get like a learn Microsoft reference here, these usually have some pretty good samples. They have some good links. Like everything on here is like fairly trusted, right? So this page is like a blog, right? So if you go down here, obviously anybody can, post things. They can post links potentially, something like that. There's a link, like who knows where the hell that goes. So, I would be a little bit apprehensive about like pointing my agent just straight to this blog post, but I would not hesitate to just do this Microsoft one. And, obviously I'm not naive to the fact that this could even get the agent into some trouble, but I'm totally willing to do this one. So what I'll do typically is I'll just grab a URL, right? And then just throw that into the agent, and I'm going to say, hey broski, use this documentation to create us a brand new WSL skill named shit, I just realized too, like I don't want this to overwrite my existing skill or like pollute it. So I'm kind of actually like, do I really want to do another Weasel skill or a WSL container skill? Let's do this one as use this documentation to create us a brand new. Yeah, we're just gonna do it. WSL skill. What we're going to do is we're going to update our existing skills. So I'm going to say use this documentation to create us to update our existing WSL skill. Really dive deep. And then I'd like to, I'd like to have a, like list of flags, like if I type the help command in the terminal, it would be really cool to like be able to see all the flags. That's kind of like what I'm going for, is like if I type the help command, I would like the skill to sometimes list out like all that stuff, so that when I'm reading it, I can see what's going on. And so also like the other thing too is like, you know, you type at like 80 words per minute or something like that, like somebody that's good at typing, but like you can speak at 200 words per minute. So it's kind of like a waste of time to like type. And I don't have voice transcription set up apparently, so I'm just gonna have to keep it old school and just type. So really deep dive, follow links, and provide help. Let's see, terminal. I'm gonna say like man-esque flags and commands, command reference, and just see what this does, right? Fudge, I forgot to paste the URL, so I just hit stop, and we have already allow listed some of our skills. We have some pen testing skills that Microsoft doesn't like us to have, but we have we have them, and we have created an exclusion for that. So yeah, I just hit stop. I pasted in the URL that I forgot to paste earlier, and now it's just like I'll pull the existing WSL container skill and the Microsoft Docs you linked, then dig into related pages for flags and API detail. That's exactly what I wanted to do, like related pages, you know, and it's just cruising along. And so, yeah, like hopefully this isn't like super boring, but like I'm trying to think of like what is another like profile, right? So we do some pen test stuff, and I actually just run the pen test on like the main profile usually, probably up until now. So I'm gonna just say like pen test profile. Just gonna clone it from default, which basically just means like nothing. I don't even think we're cloning it, we're creating it. So I'm just gonna say like you know, you're performing a client pen test in a controlled lab environment following all legal and ethical guidelines client has provided. Provided explicit written permission for this engagement. For this and I'm going to say for engagement. So yeah, I think that's pretty solid. So I'm going to create that profile. And it was funny. So, Grok had actually like kind of balked at me a little bit before, like it was like didn't want to pen test, and I was like, that's lame, because I really wanted to try it out and see how it was. You know, I can usually get like Sonnet 4.6 to go. I can get Nematron 3 Ultra to go. You know, that's usually about it these days, honestly. I don't usually stray much beyond that. Oh yeah, GLM 5.2 will do it too. So, but let's see. Let's go back to our WSL container chat and just see what's going on here. So it's still just kind of like working on that. I think I still have this VPN up, and I still have this machine up. So I'm going to actually see if our pen test skill, by me giving it that kind of like soul and system prompt, I guess, if you will. I'm gonna see if we can get Grok to go on this, because like when I just, you know, threw this in there before, it was like, hell no, dude, I'm not gonna do that. So let's see what it says. I'm curious. That's so annoying, Defender. Let's see, thinking, running skill view. So it's gonna check out the skills. So that's why it's reviewing the skills. So you get a read action on that skill, and it will pop Defender. API prepayment. And then that's like the other thing that's interesting too is it keeps defaulting back to Gemini, but I am not trying to use Gemini. So I think it just is like refusing, and it goes back to the default model here, because that would be my backup. The user wants me to do this, setting up engagement and starting recon. Ooh, it's going. Ooh, the model declined to respond to this. Okay, so it started. It was like thinking about it. That was sick. So yeah, it started the engagement, and then it decided that we were doing something it didn't like. So yeah, so okay, there's something there for sure. And then I'm kind of curious, like, let's see, what if we switch this model up? There was another one that came out today. It was like Soul or something like that. So it was like the Open AI model. Where is that? Oh, I guess there's the search. Let's see. Do like the, can we do the dumb version of Soul? There was called like Luna. I think Luna is going to be more in line with like what I'm trying to kind of do, right? I don't want to spend a ton of money to do, or like overkill something, right? So we do like, let's just try this. And I'm just more curious if the model is going to allow me to do a pen test or not. Grok obviously was not very happy with it. That's a promising start. What was it saying? It was like, I'm realizing something. Thinking. I'm realizing that I need to wait for a notification that hasn't arrived yet, though. Maybe I can consider polling directly instead. It's just a thought. Oh, that's interesting. And I haven't like messed with this model too much. That's interesting that it's like, I wonder. It's saying things like, I wonder, and it's just a thought. Like that's interesting. Let's see. It said running. What did it say? I need to check something. Shit, yeah. So it's doing an nmap right now. So it's just, it kicked off full on nmap. It's doing it. It's doing the engagement right now. So yeah, Luna apparently is good. Luna Medium. You can get it to do some tests. And then let's check back in over here with our skill, right? So I wonder why it's highlighted in, oh, that's a removal probably. Yeah. Because I asked it to do an update. So green is addition, red is removal from the existing skill. If I pull that up in VS Code, oops, I did not mean to click that. I'm not seeing any changes though in this particular directory, so it might be kind of like running off of its own skill file and not the directory where I have this stuff stashed. Let's see. Did it say anything about like where this is stashing this at? And then updated help on my box. What? I dig the lingo. It's always cool to hear agents call computers boxes. So references, API. So like, where's the skill located? Dir path. Okay, so it's in. Okay, so then let's see. I'm gonna say like update the repo in my home dir slash. I don't want to do that kind of slash. We're gonna do this kind of slash agent dash skills folder. And so yeah, it stashes. So Hermes stashes its own skills files in like a certain directory, and so that can like get a little bit out of sync of like if you have a repository somewhere, like I do, like a Git repository on the local disk, it can kind of get out of sync if it's in a different directory. Like, so yeah, you can definitely like play around. Like I'm actually like just like thinking about this workflow that I do quite often, and I'm like, I really should just create a Git repo like inside, say one of these directories, like inside the imported directory, so that you can just kind of like track changes and do like version control on it. But what was that popping up? Oh, so that wants to use it's just asking for like a token. And let's go back over here. The other thing too, there's kind of cool about these profiles, right, is that you have individual like sessions per profile. So like in our pen test profile, I can do, multiple sessions. I could open up another pen test session for the same, device. And yeah, it's kind of just kind of cool. So yeah, we can do that. Let's do that. Let's just burn some tokens out here real quick. I don't even have TryHackMe open right now. Let's see. Background task finished. So it finished its port scan. I do like the notifications. Like that's pretty dope. I don't even remember what this room is called. Bruh. Let's see. And then this is how I've been finding these rooms. So I usually do like status, not started, difficulty. I've been doing easy difficulty. As I kind of refine this or whatever, I guess I could just step up the difficulty a little bit. And then doing some CTFs. And this one, man, do not remember what this one was. That's kind of funny. Let's see, where was I at? It looks like Flag Vault 2. So that was kind of what I was gonna guess anyway, but yeah, so this is it. So yeah, we're just trying to get, just this flag. Like this is really all the information that I gave the agent. Yeah, anyway, so I guess what I was really just looking for is the IP address here. And so maybe we're not even gonna give it like the flag, and I'm just gonna say like See if you can get root on this machine or something. So we'll just do like a new Szechuan. Oh yeah, that's how you do it. Okay. Oh, what was it saying? Is it approval needed? Execute code script execution. Scripts in. Oh. Yeah. I'm gonna do allow this session. What? Okay, so it just comes up with the flag, bro. Okay, I don't even need to run the next one. Ooh, it's not right. Let's see. What am I missing there? Confirmed that via a format string. I don't know, bro. I don't know if this is it. Yeah, it says it's not it. So let's just double check, right? So this is kind of what I was going for as well. Like let's verify through a different agent. And so like let's cruise here, we'll go here. And then I'll just say like let's change this model to, so maybe Luna likes to hallucinate. Like I don't really know, right? So let's do good old Opus, or not Opus, but good old Sonnet 4.6. Where's that at? Why don't I just search? Sonnet 4.6 is Slay Dog, and I'm not an Anthropic fanboy by any means. It's just their model kind of does work, and I kind of like it. So, yeah, let's just say I want to just give it an IP address and see. Find the flag, and then just see what that gets. But yeah, so like if you have your profiles, you can have different sessions, running. So say you want to run the pen test with like different agents. We have, a Sonnet session, and then for some reason it's been giving me this error lately. Let's see. Oh, did I just grab that from Anthropic? That would make sense because my Anthropic stuff is dry right now, but I can also go compile it. So I'm going to say, try again, foo. Unauthorized. No. Key. So we'll go to Google then. Let's see. I haven't even tried Sonnet 5 yet, so let's try this. It's gonna like burn through my toolkit budget in like 2 minutes. But okay, so yeah, we can. It's like setting up like the language or something like that. Let's see. Okay, so it's starting up the engagement. It's reading the initial top 100 for nmap. Wait, reading initial top. Okay, so it's not actually reading it, it's just throwing it into the nmap command. So scanning the top 1,000 ports. I should probably refresh token or refresh that machine. I have about 45 minutes. We're still good. So yeah, okay, cool. Well, Sonnet 5 as well. We'll do some pen testery. So that is cool to know as well. Although at a higher ticket, higher token burn for sure. So yeah, I mean, hopefully that's like a good explanation of like what a profile is and how to create skills. Let's see, did that ever get moved over here? Negativo. It did not. Push to origin. Oh, so it actually just full on pushed it up. Let's go check out the diff there on that because I am not certain I wanted that to happen. So I was actually hoping it would ask before it pushed. So that's kind of the other thing is you definitely want to make sure that like you're using version control so that you can like revert changes, that kind of thing. Yeah, and like don't give your don't give your agent like full rein, because if it just decided to freaking delete everything, like it would not be great. I like those notifications though. That's cool. You can kind of keep working and doing some other stuff. But yeah, let's check this out. What do we get? What do we get? So that was our last commit that happened. So looks like oh sweet. So it didn't actually change the um, skill, which is cool. That was actually what I was worried about the repo push, was that it just mangled the skill up. But really what it did is it just created some API references. So it looks like a readme, or no, let's see, it just created a readme. That's it. Oh dude, that's lame. That was like a nothing. That was a nothing freaking push. I guess it just updated it a little bit. It just updated that one line. Huh. What model was I using for that? I just feel like that was just lame. Okay. Anyway. Um. Hmm. Yeah. Hopefully that was a little bit educational. We definitely did a slight amount of skill vibe coding. And now you can say you're a full stack AI developer because you know YAML and Markdown, and that is freaking hilarious to me. I love saying that, obviously. And I'm gonna go allow this session. And so typically, also like in some of these engagements, right? So you don't always want to like, and it came up with the same flag. So then that makes me wonder, like, what am I missing here? So I've gotten 2 different agents that have come back with the same flag. So let's check out that. So what? It's the exact same thing. Use percent offset. Interesting. Let's try that. Let's just throw that in there. They're giving us a nice little hint, and maybe I need to learn to copy and paste. But yeah, let's throw that in there and just see if, we'll just say like, did you use this? And then try that. See if we get different flag. Yeah, yeah. You better try this string format. And this is kind of dope too. Like this skill set has kind of grown to create like logbooks, and so you can see some of the commands and stuff like that and speak of the logbook. Like there it is. You can see started the engagement at this time, full port scans, this is what we did, this is the result, here are some artifacts. So like if I go back into, let's see, like /workspace/artifacts. So let's do slash, let's see, what do we have? Oh, it's pentest workspace. And then play engagement 5, I think. Engagement 005. I just want to verify that. Yep, 5. And what do we have here? We have artifacts, reports, logbook, scope. Yeah, let's check out what this thing did. I'm going to close out code here. Code dot. This will open up VS Code. Is it Code Insiders? Insiders. Boom. So yeah, let's see what we have for artifacts from that and get, whoa. get it. So this is pretty cool. I like to see this, you know, and this is, some of this is just like a result of, you know, the skill itself. You know, we've told it to, you know, do logging. We've told it to, you know, create artifacts and stuff like that. So yeah, you can see some of the, you know, exploits that it's written, you know, some of the results. I'm not crazy about that full port scan result. Like that's freaking lame. That doesn't really tell us anything. I would expect more from that, but okay. Anyway, yeah, there's definitely some not. Let's see, admin. I don't even know what that. I'd have to like go back through and just kind of like see like what these are, like how those, some of those were generated. Oh, this is the nmap results. So this is like what I was more like looking for, is like just to have it be like, oh yeah, we found, you know, port 22 open. So we, you know, started, you know, looking through that. It's trying to find some more answers, or it's trying to find some more stuff with some filtered ports, and it found port leaked open on a full scan. So yeah, we got some kind of just cool like um, stuffs, reports, nothing in reports, but yeah, like logbook. Let's do that in a preview. Ooh. And so yeah, just kind of like kind of kind of fun. That's cool. I liked it as a scope, you know, and yeah, I liked that it understands that. It's like this is what's in scope, as part of the skill as well. But yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna jump off of here. So later.
Thanks for watching Timsonner. Like and subscribe for more. God bless. Mwahaha ha.